So for any eagle-eyed people out there, they'll see that this isn't my very first video here on the channel. I have a tendency to kind of delete things and then come back to them, and I kind of hope that this time around that won't be happening anymore. So I've made some notes on my phone of some things I'd like to say and just some things that I'd like to try and achieve in the next year. It is currently coming towards the end of the year. I feel that this time of year is a very sort of heavy time for a lot of people to kind of reflect on things and kind of set goals for the next 12 months. So let's start with this year. So 2025, I wouldn't say it's been a bad year. It's been just sort of in the like meh. You know, I don't think it's anything too special, but it's certainly not been like an horrendous year. I feel it's been relatively kind. It's been relatively fun and relatively, you know, I've come out of it making some great memories and sort of had some amazing times along the way. So I feel overall the year has been a really nice one. I think, you know, I went on some amazing trips. I went a couple of times to Tenerife, which was lovely, and then, you know, just spent a lot more time with friends because a couple of my friends sort of moved back sort of local, and just sort of in general just kind of made memories and sort of met new people, made memories with old people, new people, and I feel just overall was really quite a social year. And I feel that this year I've been a little bit more in the moment, because I always try and become more in the moment. Like, I think that's one reason I've said I'd never do vlogs, is because I like sort of having that in the moment, and also because a lot of my friends don't do sort of YouTube and stuff. I kind of feel going along to certain things and filming them, it wouldn't be particularly appropriate and sort of wouldn't be particularly comfortable or sort of in doing. So I certainly don't think I'll be moving on into 2026 doing vlogs or anything like that, but I certainly think I'll be sort of sticking to the being more present and more in the moment, which I kind of have been in 2025. So as I say, overall the year was meh. It wasn't anything special. It certainly, as I say, wasn't unkind or a nasty year or anything one that I'm glad to see the end of, because I'm not. I think overall it was a pretty good year. As I said, you know, there's some amazing things that have happened during this year, so it's been a fun year. I think I've got a few things here. Some of them are like personal goals, some of them are sort of like the social media ones that I'll maybe share with you a little bit more. But the first one is more of a personal one, and is to find a new career. I'd like to really find a new career this year, or in the new year I should say, because I feel the job I'm in now, I don't like touching upon sort of my things like this too much online, just because I like to try and keep it separate, but the job I'm currently in isn't great for me. Let's just put it, keep it short and sweet. I won't necessarily be documenting it online, because as I say, it's sort of something that's not to do with online. You know, I kind of do like create things and do social media to sort of almost not escape the lifestyle I've got, because I'm very happy with what my life is, but more just to sort of touch upon, you know, I've touched on it briefly in the past that I did very creative things at college and school and university, and now I don't. So kind of by doing YouTube and kind of things like that is a way for me to kind of still touch upon that sort of life I once had without being niche. Like, is that a bit cliche, like, oh, you know, a bit cheesy, but I used to create a lot of things. I used to plan films, videos. I used to do YouTube a lot more when I was at university, and then of course stopped just because life changed and things sort of popped up here and there, and I'm kind of trying to almost get into that a little bit. So along with finding a new career, as I say, I want to work on social media content, not just on YouTube. I think I've been posting a lot more on TikToks now. I've got a new Instagram account I'm setting up, which is sort of going to be associated to like this YouTube channel more, and again kind of keep my private one as private and sort of as sort of personal as it can be, and then of course, you know, have like a separate one which is dedicated one for more YouTube and kind of things like that. I also want to do more trips with friends. Now, as I say, a lot of my friends don't do sort of like YouTube or social media. You know, I've got a couple of friends that do like blogging or sort of YouTube videos and stuff. So certainly if I ever do anything with them, I'm sure I'd probably try and do a bit more content. But it's always difficult sort of when you're with people who don't necessarily do that, because you don't want to sort of intrude on their privacy. but you know, sort of whacking a camera in their face. So I certainly want to film more and do more sort of content. I think like trips I get up to, like I'm hoping to sort of plan a few trips for the new year and sort of next year in general. So it'd be nice to sort of do a few more sort of travel vlog sort of things with them. You know, sort of filming more of my like trips. I take a lot of photos when I go away as it is, but you know, sort of actually doing something with any content I capture and sort of sharing it online and sort of making more of a record of things. This one, and I don't know how sort of cliche or sort of like, oh, you know, how it's gonna be, but I want to work on me a little bit more. So I think, as I've sort of touched upon with my job, I'd like to really sort of move on to something a little bit more rewarding for me, and just sort of think, once I've sort of sorted that element out, I hope that sort of other things will change. You know, I think it's not, I'm not sort of majorly wanting to work on stuff, because I don't, you know, there's not loads I want to change about me, but I feel there's a few little areas. Yeah, I think sort of there are times when my work almost drags me down a little bit too much, and I think that's something I want to sort of move away from in the new year, and kind of almost have just sort of better sort of, I don't quite know how to word it, kind of have my job separate to my personal life, and kind of not let it bother me as much as I probably let it bother me now. I don't want to, as I say, it's difficult, I don't quite know how to word it. It's a bit of a weird one, so we'll leave it at that, and just kind of hope that makes sense. And then I just want to touch briefly upon some sort of designated social media goals. So I want to post more frequently. You know, I sort of turn it into a joke now of sort of, oh, you know, I'll post for a bit and then go away for so long, or delete videos, and I think I want to try and get out of that and kind of really work on what I want to do. It sounds daft, it's like this video today, I haven't necessarily written a script, but I've got notes on my phone of what I want to say. So kind of having like some sort of rough idea before I hit record on a camera, I think would be something really good. And I just kind of want to get like my channel to kind of have a bit more of a structure to it. You know, I put here, find a topic to base content on. I kind of touched upon the idea, or toyed with the idea even, of having like a channel based on men's fashion and men's sort of clothing and things, which I think is something I still want to do, but I also want to incorporate a few more little projects and sort of topics within that. So you know, it's like I love music, I love film, I think sort of a lifestyle channel in general. So we'll sort of see what exactly sort of content wise I come up with. I think it'd be good to find a niche, but I don't know how sort of specific that niche is going to be, or if it's going to sort of be a little niche that's sort of more of a topic than a niche, because a topic sounds like it's a bigger thing. You know, of almost having like more ideas and more sort of content I can base videos on. And I think just in general I want to enjoy it more, and I've kind of put a stick with it, which is a little bit similar to like posting more frequently, but I just want to kind of, you know, I think at the moment you work on a video for however long, and you post it and it doesn't do particularly well, it can be quite disheartening. You know, I think there's no sort of denying that it can be difficult, but I think just keeping the video up there and not sort of doing this constant rebrand or this constant restart, I think isn't going to do any wonders. So hopefully I'm not sort of sat here in 12 months time going, here we are again, you know, another introduction, another sort of chatty update video, because as much as they're like sort of, it's fun and sort of it's turned into a bit of a joke, I think it would be good to sort of try and just stick to videos I put out there, and kind of just, if they don't do so well, just leave them there and just kind of think, well, I enjoyed making them, or somebody might enjoy them, and just sort of see where things go. Let's see where this goes. The camera battery's flashing now, so that's probably a good sign, to the sign of the camera saying you're waffling now to stop. So yeah, let's just see where this goes really. I'd like to think it goes a little bit better than it maybe has done in the past. If you did watch all this video, thank you very much. You know, I do appreciate it, and I will be back sooner rather than later to sort of waffle on about something else. We will see. But do all the usual things down below, like, comment, subscribe. It really does sort of mean a lot. I think when you're a smaller content creator, or a smaller channel even, those sort of things really do sort of keep going. So, thanks for watching. If you've got all this way far, then that's brilliant. And I'll see you all very soon in another video. Until the next one, goodbye.